Sorry, this is how I deal with trauma. Meh, meh. If you're thinking to yourself that surely I learned my lesson, you are mistaken. Things have not gone according to plan. Hello and welcome back to another episode of No Suit Survival. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 31. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to address a couple of the comments that I've seen, which have been very reasonable questions as to why the heck am I not going to space right now when we already made it out of the atmosphere. And the reason I'm not going to space immediately right now is because, one, we established that our win condition was that we needed to build bases that all faced each other and had arrays to ultimately build our space station that will use the triangulation of the three planets to send a signal to Earth. So what that means is that I need to build a base over here, and whatever that big antenna that we're going to do, because it's not just going to be like a vanilla game antenna, it's going to have to be something cool and big. And so we're going to build that on this side of the planet so it's in the right position, and then we will start expanding outward. And the second reason is I haven't really decided yet if I'm going to go to the other planets first, build bases on the other planets, and then build the space station last, or if I'm going to build a base on this planet, build part of the space station, then go down to another planet, get some stuff, build a second part of the space station, go to the third planet, rinse and repeat. So all I know is that when we get to space, reavers are going to be a big problem. And so if I build the space station and leave, I can't defend it. And that is something that I'm afraid of. We'll see how it goes. As of right now, we need to build this base up to be something pretty substantial. And I think at some point we were going to kind of create a checklist of things that constitutes having like a successful base. I know some people said having multiple crew quarters. Some people said like you have a certain power output. And I think that there's going to be a combination of those things before we ultimately leave this planet and probably never come back. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's kind of come up with what we want to do for today. Okay, so the three main things that I want to do today is, one, get a production started on the base itself. Rather than just relying on the hauler, I'd like to have refineries and assemblers on the base, which kind of go hand in hand with building a mine. All of our precious resources are across the valley to that other mountain, and we're going to get there pretty soon. But I would like to set up a mine just to get some stone and just to make sure that we don't run out of like our basic materials, so that way we can just continue building our base without any worries. And I want to work on the base and build the pressurized area. All right, let's get to it. But before we do, let's stop over here and say thank you to all the patrons for making all of this possible. You are the best. All right, let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna build our assemblers. And I really liked the assembler kind of configuration that we had on the spaceport. And so I think I'm just going to kind of do something pretty similar to that, where I'm going to have our assemblers probably posted up this way. And I'll just have a couple of them just boom, 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 boom. And then we'll decorate them and stuff like that. Cool, let's get to it. I thought I saved it. Dang it. I was so smug. I was like, yeah, I got it. And I didn't. Just wanted to weld it. Oh, weld. Oh, weld. Sorry, this is how I deal with trauma. I make jokes. Okay, so how am I gonna fix this? Because that did quite a number on this ship. Alright, we have the projector in place. I think what I'm gonna do is just slap like a couple welders right here on the wall and see if I can just weld it back up. Why is it doing what it's doing? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can crash this thing into the welders. Hey, all things considered, that could have gone worse. Pretty happy with the results. Ain't no thing. Alright, so this does bring up a good point though. I am notoriously accident prone, and therefore I should probably set up a welding wall and floor pretty soon. It doesn't have to be right now, but the sooner the better, as evident by what just happened. Alright, let's finish welding up the thing we were working on. If you're thinking to yourself that surely I learned my lesson, you are mistaken. I am still gonna try to weld this up with the same thing. There we go. Now I just need to make the pipeway to the assemblers. Alright, so I'm realizing that before I get the rest of this production online, I probably need to build more power generation. Yeah. But before I do that, I'm gonna cover this up so that way I don't have to deal with it. And by deal with it, I mean I won't like fall down and have to jump up or whatever. Yeah, that'll work. I don't want to build more of these. I'm gonna look for a mod. I'm gonna look for a mod for cooler wind turbines, because it's not that these aren't cool, but they're like weird Christmas trees. And I want something that's more sleek. Man. I probably shouldn't get in the habit of adding mods when I'm annoyed. So instead of adding a mod right now, what I need to do is I need to come up with a way to make it cooler than it is this way. But how? How do we make it cooler? I don't know what to do. Alright, after much contemplation, and I do mean just so much, I couldn't think of anything that would work with our immediate situation that we have here. Like, I was thinking about maybe making an archway and then having them all be horizontal, which would be cool, but it doesn't really fit with this because it's kind of at an angle, and I would still have to worry about storms and stuff. So my final conclusion is if I can't make it cooler, then make it disappear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to carve out a tunnel that goes down into the ground, and yeah, we'll just put a bunch of wind turbines down there. I don't know why I assumed that that was gonna be big enough. I think what I need to do is I need to drill out this hole to be big enough that I can build some drills. And I think this will operate as kind of like my first mine for a second. I just need to have enough cargo space to be able to gather all of it, so we can just do a push down and then start putting some wind turbines in here. Now I just need to build a little bit of a framework in here, pipe it up, and get some drills working. Maybe we do need to build a refinery sooner rather than later. Well, then again, we're all piped up right now to the hauler, which has 2 refineries on it. So it will just start refining for us. Yeah, we won't worry about it right now. All right, let's build this little mine. Okay, so we got the first little bit of stone, quite a little bit of stone. Let's see if the refineries are using it. They are not. Well, that is quite annoying. So it does look like I am going to need to build a refinery. Alright, well, I'll worry about the refinery once I get this mine a little bit more situated. I am making this infinitely more difficult on myself than it needs to be. I should have just grinded off the drills and remade it instead of trying to save it. Okay, I have a new solution. Rather than continually building new pistons to get it to go further and further down into the ground, I really don't need the stone. The first time I mined it, I already got like 500,000 stone. And I also have intentions on building an actual mine with our mining script here in the not too distant future. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild the drills, put some lights on it, put some batteries on it, and then I'm just going to disconnect it and leave it. I'm going to let it mine until it runs out of battery. And that way it's more AFK instead of me having to run back and forth and back and forth. The only downside is that had I made that decision before deleting the drills, we would have already been there. I didn't. And so here we are. Guess we're doing it again. Oh, what a terrible idea. I need steel plates so I can go down and get my body. Alright, let's try this again. This time I'm going to build some scaffolding rather than trying to do it without. You know what? Maybe I should have, instead of doing this, I should have done just dropping warheads. That probably would have been a smarter move. Okay, I'm gonna take a break for a little bit because things have not gone according to plan. Alrighty, friends, I'm not gonna lie to you. This whole tunnel mining, trying to get the wind turbines in here and everything else like that has not exactly gone the way that I planned, and it's bumming me out, man. So I'm going to ignore that for a minute because I don't like to be bummed out, and I'm going to work on something more fun. Right now, our wind turbines are fine. I was just planning on building more power for later, so we'll just push it to be more later. and I'm gonna work on the area up here. So let's do it. Whoops, I didn't realize how low on battery I was on the turtle. Better charge this guy up. I should also just build a charger over there, but meh. We'll do it later. Dang it. I don't think the mining turtle has a... Yeah, the mining turtle doesn't have an antenna on it right now. Alright, I'm gonna run and jump. Run! Oh. Okay, I know this is probably a dumb idea, but how dumb of an idea would it be to try to take the turtle inside and weld up the ceiling? I don't know, but we about to find out. Well, it definitely can't get through the gate, but I think other than that, we can make it. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, that took so long. So long. But we're here. We have a pressurized area. I haven't quite decided exactly how I want to decorate the inside of this. And to be quite honest with you, this kind of wasn't originally the plan. I was going to do a lot more glass and I was going to have it kind of like angled out. But then I got the idea of like a 50s diner kind of thing. And I thought these windows would kind of lean into that. And so then I just kind of started freestyling it. Sometimes it works out for me, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know if I made the right decision for this, but I think we can just fiddle with it a little bit, and over time it can become something that we're proud of. I mean, obviously the first thing that we need to do is we need to get some lights in here, because it is dark. Well, this looks less like a diner and more like the Den of Nightmares. I might change the red to be a different color. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna change the red to blue, because right now this looks like Stranger Things, like the Demogorgon is just gonna pop up and slice me. It's weird how much a color can change like the mood of something. I definitely need to do something more with these panel lights, or maybe I just need to add some additional lights, because I do like the purple hue. I don't know. Lighting has never been my strongest suit. Let's try some stuff out. I'd like to do something different with the floor, but the issue is that I only made it 1 block thick. So anything that I do up here to the floor will be done downstairs to the ceiling. Alright, I think I'm gonna forego the diner look. It's just kind of gotten away from me, so if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have to do it in a different building. Because I think what I'm gonna do with this, just because I really do like this like combination of the neon and then the caution stripes. I think this is pretty cool. And so what I'm thinking is I'll set it up so there's like bedrooms over here, and this is kind of like a truck stop before you go out on the planet. And so there'll be like crew quarters, and then like in this area where the hallway is, we'll have like a common area or something. I don't know, just some ideas. Like I could keep this, and then maybe like right here I bring it in, and then I have this back thing to do some stuff with. I don't know, we'll figure it out. I like this section. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of the sections exactly. Also, I know that having a gate here is not the best, because I will vent oxygen every time, but it is kind of fun to have, and it looks pretty cool. So kind of feels weird to have the red and the orange, so I might change that to orange as well. I don't know. I think I have expended my creativity for the day, so I'm going to call it a day, and I'll take some fresh eyes on it tomorrow. Alrighty, so for you guys it's been mere seconds since I got off, but for me it has been a roller coaster of emotions. I asked myself the hard questions. Who am I? What am I doing here? Seriously, like, what am I doing with this? So I think it's pretty common at some point for people who are playing Space Engineers to kind of sit there and wonder, like, why am I doing this? Like, what exactly is the goal here? And I'm kind of at that right now. In a small sense, by this building, like, what do I want to do with it? But in a larger sense, what exactly do we need in this base to have it work towards our win condition? And so I've been thinking about that over the last like day and a half. And I've written a couple things down, I've read comments, I've just been spending a lot of brain power trying to figure out what I want to do. Because I think that Space Engineers is so amazing at a lot of things, but it really comes down to like the player needing to come up with that story. They need to create their own why. And so I think I had a kind of an ambiguous why. I was just thinking I need to build the base and that would be it. But in order to kind of help myself get back on track, I broke it down and I've decided what I want to constitute as a base. in order for us to get to that win condition. And so for me, it starts with story. And what I came up with in my mind for the story is that our engineer had a team of people, and they were sent here to this star system to establish a foothold on each of the planets, so that way this star system could become like a waypoint between other important star systems. And we found a data pad as we left our last base that basically stated to the person who was in charge of the expedition what the criteria were for the mission to be considered successful, and a PS, you're on your own. Basically, it was deemed that it would be too expensive for a rescue mission, so this was always going to be a one-way trip. Whether you were successful or whether you failed, our team was on their own. Ultimately, the rest of the team didn't make it, I guess. It puts us in a position where, in order for us to get rescued, we have to complete the mission. What is the mission? I'm going to build an LCD screen, and I'm going to write out what exactly we need. Okay, so I know that this list looks like a lot, and I'm not arguing with that. It definitely is a lot, but this is what I'm excited for. So let me run through it. So we need 20 bunks, like 20 beds basically, to have our first wave of engineers come in and be able to use these facilities. We need 4 officer quarters, each with their own beds. We need system androids, which I will show you here in a second. We need a mess hall, a greenhouse, an engineering station, a communication tower, and a medical bay. A landing zone for an interplanetary cargo ship that we're eventually going to have to design. We need at least 1,500 megawatts of power. And the way I got that number was that's just 5 reactors. If that seems too trivial, I figured that in conjunction with everything else, it seemed like a good number. And a satellite dish. And this satellite dish is not going to just be one of the satellites like in the vanilla game. This thing is going to be big. I've seen some pictures of some other ones that people have built on Space Engineers, and I'm going to try my hand at building something that looks pretty impressive. With that out of the way, I think I know what I want to do with this building. That was a very long-winded way of me to finally come up with the purpose for this building. I think I'm going to start with the bunk rooms. It's the first thing that's on this list, and I have an idea of how I want to do it. First off, I think I want to kind of make this portion smaller. I like it, but I think it would be better if I moved the gate over to like be more centered with it, and then instead of it being 3 wide, I made it 1 wide, but the panels, keep them where they're at, and then just move this over. And then that way we have kind of a more compact hallway looking thing. Yeah. You know what? Hold on. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention the system androids. Okay. So one of the other things that I wanted to do is building a huge big base that's totally empty seems kind of weird. So one of the other things I've decided, I've actually had this mod on the entire time. I have this like decorative NPC mods, but I haven't used it at all because it feels like if I just threw NPCs in, it would look like I had a whole crew of people. But my workaround for that is that these are androids. They're not humans. So I can justifiably build them, and then they can just be populated around the base, and they're just androids to help out. But it also helps with decorative, so that's that. In addition, there's actual functional androids that came with this mod as well, or it might be a different mod. Yeah, it's the NPC crew mod. These are functional androids. So here's the combat one, here's the engineering one, and then here's the production one. And each one has actually some pretty cool abilities. So yeah, so these things are dope. The engineering one reduces your power consumption of all of your blocks by 50% and increases your power output from like wind turbines or solar panels or reactors by 300%. So this dude is awesome, but they cost like a ton to build. Yeah, this costs 1,000 superconductors and 20 gravity components. So yeah, it costs a little bit to be able to use that. The combat mobility one helps with gyro and thrust output, so not super necessary for a base, but I'm still going to put it on there because why not? And the production one helps with drills and your gas conversion, so turning ice into hydrogen. This mod has been on the entire time. I just haven't done anything with it. So now we have reasons to do it. Alrighty, so I'm sorry for my long-windedness this episode. I was having a rough time, but now I'm pumped again. And I hope you are too, because this kind of launches into the new era of this series. Obviously, it's going to take us a little bit of time, but it means that the time that we take actually means something rather than just building for the sake of building. We have objectives to hit, and that feels better for me. I don't know if that's the way you guys play, but it helps me out a ton. So, with all of that out of the way, I think the first thing that we should probably do is, in order to like really deck this thing out and get a bunch of beds and all that fun stuff, I think I need to start building those refineries and set up a mine, because I think we're running out of iron. We are definitely running out of iron. We started with 500,000 iron, now we're at 24,000. So the time has come. We need a mine, we need refineries. And I think I have an idea of how I want to do the refineries. I saw an image the other day of like the industrial refinery, but it was like on its side, like this, because those that top part of it, well, I guess it's the side part of it, but that really cool like cylindrical thing with those pipes out are pretty sweet. And then they just did something to like cover up the stairs so it doesn't look as weird. And I thought that was pretty cool, and I thought it would be pretty cool in this circumstance if we put it up against the wall right there, because it has a connector port on the side. So as long as we just pipe up from the bottom and put them like that, that would be pretty cool. All right, let's do it. All right, I'm not gonna lie. This little thing got away from me a little bit, and trying to fix it, I don't know if this is like, I might come back to this later. I think that the better move for me at this point would just be to forget about it. This was a failed thing, and then maybe move over a few feet, and then start a mine with the automatic mining platform script, and it will bore a tunnel to the side. And then once we get far enough to the side that we're good, then we'll kind of switch it up and we'll start going down. I think that that's probably the best bet, because one, it's kind of more hands off, and two, it will get us the resources that we need. So yeah, let's do that. Oh man, I was getting so sick and tired of having to pull cargo from over there, and I didn't know how to configure it, so it used that ship's Izzy's inventory manager and brought it over here. So I built a programmable block, and I built the auto crafting thing, and now I don't have to worry about it. Let's get back to it. Unfortunately, oh my gosh, I have 40 seconds. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Ooh. That was close. Alright, well, we're gonna let that charge up, and I guess we're gonna be building off the back of the mining turtle. Well, it doesn't look like the mining platform script likes to do horizontal mining. So I think I'm just going to have to configure it manually, which isn't a big deal because it's 3 pistons and a rotor. So let me do that. Alrighty, there we go. That should get us started. We'll get some stone. We'll use it in the refineries. We have the auto crafting set up, so I think we'll be pretty good. I should slow down the pistons. Alright, I'm gonna make another LCD really fast and see what our power output is, just to figure that out. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. I should probably make some additional batteries. That should be pretty easy to do, so that way when storms come through, we just use the extra power. Alrighty, we got some more batteries. We got some resources coming in. Alright, and for ease, I just added another LCD for our cargo, so I don't have to look for it. Dang, man. Well, luckily we have a lot of stone coming in, but we used so much iron. Oh my gosh. I forgot like how powerful these androids are. So I think that the production one is the one that gives us more yield from our drills. What does that cost? I don't know if we have the cobalt for it. How much cobalt do we have? Yeah, nope, we do not. Okay, unfortunate, but it's the world we live in. I will tell you what though, what will be really nice is we need to make sure that we have one of those androids on deck before we start mining our uranium, because that will be really helpful in making sure that we get a ton of uranium. While we refine that stone, we have like 100,000. Man, that still doesn't feel like it's enough. We really got low on iron. You know, that is true, but on the other hand, I have the auto crafting on, and so we have a ton of components. So I think that, yeah, I think it'll hold us over for at least a little bit, but I've been wrong before. All right, well, I'm gonna work on this up here where I'm gonna change it from 3 wide to 1 and then bring this thing over to be centered, and yeah, and we'll go from there. Well, folks, I'm out of iron. That's a bummer. And I used literally all of the stone already, so I can't even make new drills. That being said, I love this. I think I said earlier in the episode that sometimes I just kind of like ad-lib and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't work out. I think this is one of the ones that worked out. I'm really liking this, and I think because we need to have those 20 bunks, so I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll have like a passageway come through here. We'll have a bathroom, like a shower and like a toilet, and then we'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll just repeat that right here. Maybe we'll do the 20 bunk rooms here, and then, well, we have two blocks, and if I do the passages, we only use 1. So I wonder if I could do 4 and then have it like wrap around and come up and then do another 4 on top. So then each one of these would be 8, 16. We'll do like another 4, and then maybe like these 2 could be captain's quarters. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think it's going to be pretty cool. I love these doors. Like, this is from the EDP door pack. These things are awesome. Yeah, I need to come up with something better than that. Well, I don't know. If I put a vent in each one of the rooms, it might not be that big of a deal. Well, the good news is it's now daytime. So if oh no, I don't have enough resources to build an antenna. I broke the antenna on this thing, and I kind of need an antenna to use the ore detector. Hey, we did have enough stuff. Cool. So here's the plan. I'm going to take the turtle miner out, and then we're gonna see if we can find some iron anywhere close by. All right, let's see. What is a Helios? Oh, I think it's one of those wasteland things. I bet it has guns. I also don't have time because I have, whoa, only, oh no. I got 10 minutes of charge left. All right, well, the welder's been charging up for a little while. We'll move this over. Welder's fully charged. So we'll put this over in the little garage area. All right, let's let it charge back up. Kind of a bummer. I could take the hauler out looking for iron. Yeah, why not? Beats twiddling my thumbs over here. Plus, I've been living underground for so long, it's nice to take flight every once in a while. All right, let's go looking for some iron. We got silicone, silver, gold, magnesium, uranium, all right here. I mean, that's why we landed over here. Actually, I think, if I remember correctly, over in the mountain that we're already in, I think we might have platinum, which is pretty nice. There we go. Iron, nickel. All right, it has been marked on the GPS. I will come back with the mining turtle and we'll get some iron. Actually, you know what? While we're out, I'm going to look for cobalt as well, because if we get cobalt, we can get the first of our androids. Well, guess my search is cut short because of thirstiness, which is a bummer when you are out and about and you want to land carefully, but you have a time limit. Well, I, for one, am pretty proud of my landing job. Let's go get some iron. Alrighty, I think we've mined enough for our current needs. I mean, obviously we're always going to need more iron, but I think with the trips that I made, I should be good to set up the mine again, and then we'll have it do that. Yeah, we're good. I gotta say, for the most part, I like being underground because of not having to deal with storms, but I gotta say, it is dark down here. It's the one downside of being a cave dweller. I was gonna use the turtle to weld some of this up, but I actually think that I have a higher likelihood of crashing it than anything. Maybe. I might be able to get it in here. Let's see. We won't know until we try. Alrighty, we're back in business. Looks like the mine is good to go, so it'll get us some more stone, carve us out a channel, and we'll eventually do something with it. But now that we have iron back, let's go finish up our bunk rooms. Alright, so it might be a little difficult for the spectator camera to see all of this, I'll see if I can put it in a better position. But my general thought is that here's the door, and then we'll have a T-junction like this, and then off to the right here, we'll have a shower. Right here, we'll have a toilet, and then we'll have like another passage, and then we'll just have some bunks. And I don't know how it's gonna align with the window, so we may have to change those. But yeah, like I could also just do it rather than talking about it. So like the shower right there, and then so you can come in here like this, and then it'd probably be smart to put one of these light passages, and then we put bunks. Yeah, so I'll have to figure something out with the windows. Maybe we'll just like turn them around so there's like we don't have this gap right here. But now that I'm thinking about it, it might be cool if I change like this, like just get rid of this one right here, and then I have a staircase going up, and I basically flip this thing so on the upper portion the beds are over here, and then like the bathrooms are over here, and then like the stairway leads up to it. That could be pretty cool. 8 beds in this one section. Yes, I quite like that idea. Let's do it. Alright, I think these bunk rooms are so awesome. I really love the way that this is turning out. This is pretty cool. The only thing that I'm still kind of not sold on is this archway right here. Because I didn't want to just put another door. That's why I put that door up there. But I don't know what else I could do to make it look cool. Huh. Alright, let me try this. What if I switch it so both of these are on the inside so it doesn't stick out so much? This, and then I think it's better. It doesn't, I think the archway is better, but I don't think the window is better. What to do? Oh, what if I do this? I could leave these the way that they are, and then in here I could change this instead of a T-junction to be like a 4 like that. So now you get the window here. It actually looks at something, which is cool. And then this is all just part of one. Yeah, there we go. Think we have it. There's our heading. Yes. Sweet. All right, now we just got to rinse and repeat. So that is 8. I want to like label it somehow. I want to have like a bunk room A like sign somewhere. All right, well, I'll figure out signage later. Let's make some more of these rooms. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. You come through here, you got your shower, your bathroom, you got the bunks. Come over here, you got this hallway. I'll probably put a light up here. Then you can come up here and you got the second bunk room. It's pretty sweet. I gotta be honest, if I lived here, I would want to be in this. Well, actually, I'd rather be on the bottom floor, but it would be weird to live in section B because people going up to their rooms could just stare at you while you're sleeping. Hello. Yeah, I would like have a heart attack every time like somebody just runs up and slams the window. Okay, so for the next areas, we already have 16 beds between these two blocks. So I think for this next section over here, for these two, we'll have the officers' quarters, where we'll just have like one nice room, and then we'll follow the same kind of procedure where we'll have it go up, and then we'll have another nice room on top, So 1 bed per room. We'll do that with these 2 blocks. And then over here, we may change it up. So instead of having 2 doors, we just kind of like link these together. And then we'll probably make this the eating area. All right, so how do we want to do the officers' quarters? And how do we want to distinguish it from the other ones? So I think obviously an officer would want their bed facing the window. And since we don't have 3 other beds going in here, we could utilize this space for other things. There should be a desk in here. The issue is that for the crew quarters, everything is kind of both a wall and a ceiling. And so trying to add in decorative stuff like desks and planters and everything else like that would mean that I would need like an additional space on each side. What if we did this? What if I combine these 2 blocks and I have, for the officers, there's 2 officers per room, but then we double our real estate. And so we have an officer's cabin up top, and then we have an officer's cabin down below. And then that's 2, 4, well, we said 4 officers' quarters. So here's the idea. I actually recently added this mod. It's the one that makes it so you can have tall windows instead of just the 1 block wide. We can have 2 block wide. It's called AR window walls. I added it to the mod list already because I know I'm bad at updating that, and so now I'm just gonna get in the habit of, if I add a decorative mod, I need to make sure to add it to the mod list right when I download it. What I can do is, I can take these down and then add one of these bigger walls right here to stick with the theme. And then what I'll do is I'll switch this to be 3 wide, and that gives us a little bit more wiggle room for these officer. All right, so with that being the case now, what can we do in here? Dang, man, these officers' quarters are kind of getting away from me a little bit. It was easy to do the bunk rooms because packing people in like sardines isn't that hard. It's just like put a bed here, put a bed there, put a bed here. There you go. With trying to like decorate for these officers' quarters, it's really hard to decorate when every wall also has to be a ceiling if you want to stack them on top of each other. We could not stack them on top of each other, but if we did that, we wouldn't have enough room for all 4 rooms. Do you see the predicament that I am in? All right, so I have marked in the ceiling the footprint that I would need to be able to, I was thinking about changing it up and making it so each of them are individually smaller, but they are 2 blocks tall, so I don't have to worry about the ceilings as much. But I'm not sold on it because it's only 2 blocks wide, which doesn't really give a whole lot of room for walkways. So I think instead of doing this, what I might just have to do is I might just need to make this place bigger. Yes. You know what could be fun? Let me go outside. So what might be fun is if we made it so there was like a bridge across, and then that's where we could line up our captain's quarters. All right, you know what? First off, I need to get some water. Second off, I was gonna say, we're kind of about at the point right now where we should be winding down the episode. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll put the captain's quarters thing on hold, because that seems like it's going to be a little bit of a bigger project than like, hey, let's just finish it out right now, since we're going to want to expand out the main base portion. But in the meantime, one last little project that might be nice is actually having a second connector for the other turtle that we have over here. And I think, I mean, should I put one underneath the garage, like there? For sure. But I think what would be more fun is if I had like a little offshoot. Let me run up here. If I had like a little offshoot right here, because I mean this little section is just like dying to have something in it. So it would be cool if I had like, if it like went down and then we had a little dock for the turtle. Sweet, let's do it. Well, that was a mistake.
Fool of a duck.
Honestly, the part that I'm most bummed about is the fact that it just made this hole in my nice flat area. Luckily, it didn't really damage anything on the turtle, so we're still good to go. Alright, well, let's try this again. Alright, that dock looks pretty sweet. Definitely still needs some lights. And I think that next time, it's going to be a light-heavy episode. Huh, that's kind of funny. Light-heavy. We're going to be heavy on the lights next episode, because it is just dark everywhere. But let's go ahead and go to the to-do list and see how we did. We did get production. We built a single refinery, but we have definitely room for more. And we built 2 assemblers, and we have 3 other ones ready to be welded. We're just waiting till we have better power. We built a mine. We built a pressurized area. We set up auto crafting on the base. We found an iron deposit that we can continue to go and get iron from if we are running low. And we built 16 of our 20 bunk beds. But I'm not going to check that off because that's on the big main to-do list. Well, I can think of one thing that I want to do next episode already, which is I want to move the to-do list and the patron board to the inside of the base, so that way we can do our sign-offs in our new spot. Yeah, so anyway, I'm pretty excited about the new heading that we have moving forward. And having these parameters will lead us to have some more creative builds moving forward. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to No Suit Survival, and we'll catch you next time.